latest edition of Friday Night Frenzy. With the holiday weekend upon us, half of the usual Friday night games were played last night. However, there were still plenty of great games going on tonight. One of those great games took place in Ishpeming as the Hematites hosted Manistee. First quarter, no score on 3rd and 9 from the 49. Alex Briones, looking for a receiver, buys himself some time, and he would find number 11, Eric Kostriva, who ends up inside the Emeralds' 25-yard line. Kostriva would later score on a 2-yard touchdown run, 8-0 Ishpeming. Briones wasn't done finding his receivers just yet. Late in the first quarter, Briones connects with Seppi Bertucci from 5 yards out. The Hematites led by 2 scores, 14-0. But the Emeralds didn't give in, down 14 points. Off the Ishpeming kickoff, Tony Floyd picks up the ball and starts running. Floyd finds some running room, sheds a few tackles, and gets the Emeralds across the Ishpeming side of the field. Manistee would score a touchdown to cut the deficit in half at 14-7. Late in the first half, the Hematites were looking to add more points on the scoreboard. Adam Prisk gets the ball in the backfield, and Prisk finds the promised land. From 26 yards out, the Hematites increased their lead 20-7. Now Ishpeming led 26-7 at the half. Here's the play of the game. In the second half, after a Hematite touchdown, Eric Dompierre on the attempt to the extra point, and the senior place kicker nails it right down the pipe. Immediately, his teammates mob him, put him up on their shoulders. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what high school football and high school sports are all about right there. It's a tearjerker, ladies and gentlemen. Ishpeming, though, they win 45-14. The Hematites are 2-0 on the year. Manistee falls to 0-2, and you just can't get enough of that sight. Well, to the scoreboards, a lot of UP teams played teams in Wisconsin this evening. The Flivers earned a 20-7 win at Cedar Grove. Kingsford is now 2-0. You know who else is 2-0? Gladstone. The Braves beat up Bark River Harris 34-6. The Bulldogs take a bite out of the Vikings 49-6. Tanner Curley throws for 2 touchdown passes. Meanwhile, in Hurley, LLH gets washed away 41-6. The Stevenson Eagles put up big points for the second straight week in a 41-8 win. Gogebic and Northland Pines, this one just in, 53-15 Northland Pines over the Miners. Back to the action, Superior Central played an afternoon tilt against the Bel Air Eagles, visiting from below the bridge. They are the Trolls, as they're called. First quarter, first possession for the Eagles. Quarterback Zach Smith fumbles the football. Dan Stewart picks it up for SC, and the Cougars are in business. Now 2nd and 10 for Superior Central from the 32. Trevor Mackey airs it out to Bryce Richard, who makes the grab for the score. A fake extra point resulted in a good 2-point conversion. The Cougars led 8-0. Still in the first, the Cougars defense makes their presence felt again. Stewart wrestles Smith to the ground, and the Eagles would be forced to punt again. To the second, still 8-0 Cougars. The snap goes over the head of Trevor Mackey. He falls on it in the end zone. That would be a safety for Bel Air, 2 points for them, and the Eagles are on the scoreboard down 6 points. Under 3 minutes to go in the first half, here comes the SC offense. Mackey throws to his left, finds Bryce Richard. He gets a block, spins out of a tackle, and dives to the end zone. He's marked just short of the goal line, but the Cougars are knocking on the door. 2 plays later, Mackey finds Dan Stewart for the 3-yard touchdown pass. Superior Central led 15-2, and the Cougars go on to beat the Eagles 27-10. There were a couple of games played earlier this week. Engadine won 45-8 over Trout Creek, and Cedarville also won 32-8 over Deckerville. In Wisconsin, the Menominee Maroons get another big win, 28-7 over Milwaukee Riverside. Meanwhile, in Ironwood, Ontonagon forfeits near halftime after sustaining a number of injuries. From what we have been told this evening, Ironwood wins 20-6. And that's just the start of the frenzy. We still have plenty more to get to, including the Michigan State Spartans' first football game of the 2012 football season, and a Dickinson County do-si-do took place between the Indians and Nordics. That and more is straight ahead, right here in tonight's edition of Friday Night Frenzy. And welcome back. Now, week 1 of the high school football season was kind to 5 of the 6 teams in the Mid-Eastern Conference. Everyone except Bark River Harris won game number 1. Tonight, during week 2, it's a whole different story. Mid-Eastern Conference foes Newberry and North Dickinson battled in Felch. Right off the bat, the Indians' defense made its presence felt. Tim Haruska tries to spin out of a few tackles, but the Indians ramp him up for a big loss. North Dickinson was forced to punt. Still in the first, the Nordics find some success on the ground. Dominic Christian takes a toss sweep outside to the right, and Christian has reservations for 6. A 31-yard touchdown run puts ND up 6-0. Second quarter now, and the Nordics looking to put more points on the scoreboard. Haruska gets hit just before he crosses the goal line. The next play from scrimmage, Matt Schultz carries it in for the score. A 2-point conversion was good, and North Dickinson led 14-0. after the ND defense kept Newberry's offense off the field. It's Schultz in motion, and again finding pay dirt. North Dickinson led 20-0 at that point of the ball game, and the Nordics continue to play good team football out of the gates. They win 42-6 over Newberry. To volleyball, the Northern Michigan University Wildcats are playing this weekend at the Ferris State Invitational in Big Rapids. The Lady Cats won both of their matches today, 3-1 over Minnesota Crookston and 3-0 over Mercyhurst. Lena Lopes finished with 28 kills total in both matches. Kalisha Harley, the transfer from Iowa Lakes Community College, had 43 assists in one match alone against Crookston. NMU plays West Virginia State and Glenville tomorrow. Meanwhile, in Indiana, the Huskies split a pair of games today at the Crimson Hawk Invitational. 13th ranked Michigan State tonight hosting 24th ranked Boise State in their season opener. College football is back. Heck yeah. Le'Veon Bell, first quarter, just 3 minutes in, takes the handoff up the middle, hurdles the defender for a first down. Wow, Le'Veon Bell, he can do that. Let's take another look. Bell goes airborne for the 23-yard gain. First down, MSU. Later in the drive, 3rd and goal for the Sparties. Bell finds some room on the right side for the 1-yard TD, 7-0 Sparty. Later in the first, Michigan State driving. Andrew Maxwell looking for downfield. The ball's tipped and intercepted by Jamar Taylor. No relation to this guy, who returns it into MSU territory. The turnover would lead to a Boise State field goal. Broncos down 7-3. Second quarter, Michigan State up 7. Boise driving. Joe Southwick's pass was tipped and picked off in the end zone by R.J. Williamson, who makes the juggling catch. The Spartans take over at the 20. On the ensuing drive, Andrew Maxwell's pass is tipped by his own man and picked off by Jeremy Ioane and returned 43 yards, and that tied the game at 10. However, Michigan State gets a late touchdown in the fourth quarter, courtesy of, you guessed it, their running back, Mr. Le'Veon Bell, 5-yard gain. Michigan State holds on to win this week in week number 1, 17-13 over the Broncos. Well, the high school football season may have just finished week 2, but the college football season began this week. Tomorrow night, 2 top 10 ranked teams meet up. Number 8, Michigan battles number 2, Alabama. The stakes will be very high at Cowboy Stadium in Arlington, Texas. The winner starts its season off on the right foot. The loser may see its national title hopes fade away. It's a big game for both squads, and both head coaches are looking forward to what should be a challenge.
This, not necessarily this, but, playing a team like Alabama, I think it's is something that, if you can't get excited about it, and look at the great challenge and at the same time the opportunity it is.
This is a really good team that we're playing, and we're excited about having the opportunity to play in a game like this. This is a very challenging game, for us. Michigan's got a very, very good team. They're very, very well coached. They really do a good job on defense.
And kickoff between the Wolverines and Crimson Tide is set for 8 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow night, and you can watch that game right here on ABC 10. Don't have time for it quickly, but the Tigers win 7-4 tonight. Delmon Young, the big RBI, double thrown at third, scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th to break a 4-4 tie. Tigers win 7-4. They pull within 2 games of the Chicago White Sox in the AL Central Division. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this week's edition of Friday Night Frenzy. We'll see you here next week, right back, same time, same place. Have a safe and happy Labor Day weekend.